episode of Random Media Guys
Podcast. I am
Podcast.
Dan. We are your illustrious hosts. We're coming to you live from my backyard because, it just stopped raining today, and we decided, you know what?
The dead bodies we've had around washed away, right?
Yeah, they're all gone. Things are a lot nicer out here.
Yeah, that's good. Hopefully get a garden going soon.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing that. It'd be really nice. But for this week, this is going to be kind of a short one because I am busy. We're going to be talking about old stuff.
Old stuff. Well, I saw some new stuff and old stuff.
This guy is old despite how young he looks. Isn't that right, little guy? Yeah. But no, we were talking about things like we recently watched things that are either old or maybe are based on old things brought back to life in a very ghost or zombie kind of way.
When I came in the car with you, you was listening to some spooky stories.
Yeah, that's actually
I've been listening to that recently too, from Mr. Nightmare.
Yeah.
And you were listening to
a guy called Let's Read or the Creepyfox.
Yeah. Check them out. Anyone who wants to, kind of spook themselves out one night with a girlfriend or friends or around a campfire. And some of the stories they got going are
especially
pretty creepy.
The security ones.
Yeah, the security ones, graveyard ones, school ones.
Night shift stories.
Spooky Christmas stories.
Those are always like the weirdest ones to listen to because you're like, it's Christmas and you're like, everything should be so nice.
Everything should be nice, but bad shit happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
sure, everyone can remember kind of a bad.
Well, my grandma died right before Christmas, so it's kind of. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that was like 2016, and we're sorry about the wind. We
never killed anybody, right?
Unless you live in Kansas or Oklahoma.
That's right.
Right, but because of our theme of looking at older things or things, I wouldn't rewatch some shows that I had been wanting to rewatch, and you saw a remake of an old classic.
A good old shoot 'em up classic.
Yeah, so you saw
Death Wish. Death Wish starring Bruce Willis.
Now, I have seen
directed by Eli Roth, who has mostly done horror.
Yeah,
I don't know how many action films this was. He definitely did a really good job because he kind of blended his horror expertise to the audience with this movie, this remake with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And the movie was really good. It's one of the best I've seen in a while. Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a really low rating, but the audience almost gave it 90%. The critics are bad. I think they just are honestly, because there's another movie I recently saw too I want to talk about, Annihilation. Oh my god, I have some, do you know the previews for that?
No,
It's that film with Natalie Portman. It's a newer film that came out. She's sort of a scientist that's ordered to investigate a shimmer that's sort of appeared in a national park, and it's expanding, and her husband goes in and he's disappeared but comes back, and then she kind of goes in.
It's like some of a weird evolution.
It's okay. My big critique of the film was it was pretty much ripping off The Thing. Hate to say it. I mean, they gave it a really high rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and I can tell the film was really well done.
Yeah, I want to see that. It looks pretty cool.
I'm a dick, but I really do need to ask you something now.
Why? We're doing a review right now.
I know, but can you cook the chicken and I'll clean up the kitchen and do the sides?
You can put it on in George Foreman.
No, but Sarah wants it done a specific way, that's why.
Well, Sarah wants it done a specific way, she can do it.
No, she sent you a text. She can't do it right now because she's busy.
Oh, well, I'll come and do it in a little bit, but I can't do it because...
Yeah, I know, I'm just telling you.
Sorry about that, ladies. And gentlemen.
You can edit this out.
No, I can't. We're live.
We're live,
what?
motherfucker.
We're live.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's the live stream.
Anyway.
Never crash it more.
Anyways, okay, I saw Annihilation, and the movie was really well done. There was great acting in it. I felt, though, the plot, a lot of things didn't make
sense.
Well, that's sort of to be understood to an extent with every film.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to entertain the audience. But I mean, okay, I'd say a lot of things were kind of really kind of taking from The Thing with Kurt Russell, the John Carpenter remake in 1981. And I don't know, it was kind of like, okay, I'm seeing The Thing again, because it was kind of
reimagined.
There's an alien element to this in the story, and it's sort of, in a way, there's a part where they're mimicking things.
You're right.
That's like The Thing. It was mimicking.
Well, there's not a thing.
And it's like the whole group that goes in to investigate is sort of, it creates paranoia.
Right.
So that was The Thing, where you didn't know who had the thing and it was creating paranoia. But I'd say that's, I mean, if you want to see The Thing in a different version, it was basically like the female Thing.
Yeah.
Instead of like The Thing was all dudes at the snow science lab. In this one, it was female scientists that go into this shimmer to investigate.
Right. Yeah.
And bad stuff happens.
Yeah. It looked interesting. I actually want to see it partly because it looks all colorful and stuff.
Right. No, it definitely was colorful. The effects look cool, and it was definitely had a 2001-ish, like very, like scenes that provoke your thought.
Yeah. Well, that was a big thing back in the day. Was like those imagery, like.
Yes, Stanley Kubrick really mastered the imagery.
Yeah.
Did that in Shining really well too.
The Shining was actually I heard that the actual place they filmed it was actually a haunted hotel.
Oh, in Colorado?
Yeah.
Interesting, because in the movie, that took place in Colorado.
Exactly.
It was at the hotel there.
They just renamed it.
Most old hotels are haunted. I remember I went to San Diego to an old hotel, and it was Coronado, and it was haunted. They told us.
Yeah.
Most old hotels are haunted.
Yeah. So,
speaking of that, we're thinking of going to some haunted sites.
Yeah.
There's a cemetery up the street we want to...
I've heard stories about people like going on Gravity Hill and some shit like that.
It sucks to have the zombie outbreak when we go.
We'll
be the first on the scene. We could sell it to National Enquirer or something.
Yeah, we found the zombies. They all rose out of the grave. They're up in the graveyard up in Cagle Canyon.
It'll be like the zombie outbreak from Return of the Living Dead, because that was at a grave. I think that was at a graveyard. If anyone remembers that really bad? Yeah. No, there's Night, and then there's Return. Have you seen Return? That came out in 1988, where the zombie spoke, and where like the zombie got to the hospital. He's like, "Come to the hospital," and then the people go to the hospital, and they're there to ambush them and eat them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the zombies talk. See, they made an addition. You know how like there's an evolution of zombie where originally zombies were walking.
Dumb.
Then in the Dawn of the Dead remake, no.
They kind of run.
I'm wanting to think, what came first, Dawn of the Dead?
What, Night, Dawn?
Or no. The movie that really made running zombies or gave the inspiration for it. I'm trying to think if it was 28 Days Later or Dawn of the Dead that came out first.
Dawn of the Dead came out first. They came out at the same time, but Dawn of the Dead came out first.
So they did the running zombie.
Yeah.
Because in that one, the zombies were running. The zombies
can move faster.
They move very fast, which made it more scary. But I know in 28 Days Later, the infected ran in that. They weren't zombies necessarily, they were infected people.
I think they basically seem to...
I just want to know, because I know Walking Dead took the first scene from 28 Days Later and incorporated it into their...
The idea of waking up...
comic.
Yeah, the idea of waking up in the...
hospital during the outbreak.
Yeah, right? That's a pretty cliche, with a British guy, nonetheless.
But Return of the Living Dead, they talk. Ooh, they can talk. Come to the hospital. Brains. One of the zombies like, brains.
Brian.
He's like, brains. Yeah, Brian.
I want Brian. No, speaking of old things that have been dug up, I actually started rewatching some old TV because I figured that someone pointed out there's a lot of stuff that appeared in that sci-fi does. And that you can actually apply it to later on. It's a very cool way of looking at social commentary, but without being
sci-fi. And what new sci-fi are you rewatching?
I was rewatching the Stargate franchise, mainly SG-1.
Yeah, we were just talking.
And Atlantis, and the some of the stuff they were dealing with was quite interesting. Like one of the episodes I just rewatched was they basically found an entire civilization, found a planet with two civilizations they're basically being controlled by a game, and it was basically being used to test out different scenarios for civilizations. The concept of playing God.
Yeah. So it was kind of like Star Trek, how they
Yeah. Star
had
Trek
some influence on developing civilization.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun stuff like that, and a lot of sci-fi. No, they had an episode where they went to this planet, and apparently they had buried the gate. But and there were some who were like, yeah, like we know about this thing, we should dig it up, and there were others like, no, like I fear kind of like they fear the past because they don't want it to repeat, but by burying the past, we end up running the risk to do the same thing over again, not knowing your history.
That's something that happens that gets the best of a lot of people.
I think people become kind of paranoid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I thought it was kind of cool because there's a lot of the really cool thing about science fiction in general is there's a lot of like that's what they call it. A lot of people call it speculative fiction.
Right.
Because you can play the fun like what if, or what have you, depending on because if you're able to look and ask the question, you can also look at a way of formulating an answer. And once you have an answer, or maybe even a way not to solve it, but to prevent it, because there are some things that are like the Orville. You've seen that show?
The Orville.
The one with Seth MacFarlane, where it's basically like an homage to Star Trek. They did one on a.
The Orville, right? I've seen some previews of that. It looked funny.
It's funny and it's really thought provoking. It feels like Star Trek, Next Generation.
Right.
But except for like maybe these are like a more of a workplace comedy, like a Star Trek had a bit of workplace. But they also did serious stuff. Like there was one where they found a planet that's like ours, but all their stuff is done by like upvotes and downvotes. And if you get people who have a certain amount of downvotes get ostracized, and if you reach a certain number, they're basically you have to go on a PR campaign, fix your reputation.
Nice. And
if you get too many, they lobotomize you. Well, they kind of point out they vote on everything like fashion, science, and the sad part they only mention that. But I really would like to see how like voting on it would affect science, like populist people going, oh, this I think this Well, I'm gonna say. I think we're good. I kind of see what I'm gonna say. About you?
I want to talk about what we'll be doing next. We'll be doing some possible graveyard. We should plan a day we go to Spawn Ranch.
Yes, we live
doing historical.
Yeah, so we live nearby where.
Why is Darth Vader calling?
talk about anything else recently?
I should do my review of Death Wish.
Well, you were talking about it.
Well, it was a really good movie.
Well, yeah.
And I encourage anyone to see the original with Charles Bronson.
Yeah,
in the 70s. They had made like 6 films. They're really, after the first film, they get really kind of funny, cheesy, Chuck Norrisy.
Yeah, didn't we review Bronson, the Charlie Bronson?
That was a good movie. We saw that. Was pretty epic.
Yeah, well, it has
just like checked out in a mental institution.
Yeah, it was freaking what's his
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. You know what's crazy?
Like me.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is Tom Hardy's been in a lot of stuff. You realize, holy shit, he gets around. Like he was in Band of Brothers.
Was he in Band of Brothers?
Yes, he was.
Huh.
He was in Band of Brothers. He was also in Star Trek Nemesis. He played
He was in Star Trek Nemesis. He played young Picard.
Yeah, which actually wouldn't. Some point out that'd have been kind of a cool thing, and they could have done. That was a waste.
TV show, right?
That was a waste of Tom Hardy in the movie. They could have shown flashbacks of him.
It was a good movie, though. You're right, though. There could be there's a lot of creativity you can work with there, right?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking about going to Spawn Ranch, where Spawn Ranch used to be. They kind of bulldozed it down, built a park, I believe.
Yeah. So we were thinking
it's over in Chatsworth. That is where the infamous Manson family.
And since he died recently, it wouldn't be a bad
during the 1960s, during their reign of terror in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and since he died recently, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go check it out.
Oh yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Fucking Charlie. I heard he had a girlfriend in jail. He's a nut job. Have you seen some of his videos?
Oh yeah,
they're pretty epic. They're like the fucking guy who does the videos talking about how he has sex with the pork rinds.
Yeah, but
there's like him, Charles Manson, like a whole group. A cult of guys who just say weird shit.
Well, what was interesting is what's
Charles Manson, psychopath.
The TJ, the Amazing Atheist. He was on his channel with his brother. They were talking about like the various cults, like Heaven's Waco.
Heaven's Gate. Oh yeah, they're bad. Yeah, again, check out the Museum of Death.
Yeah,
the whole section on the cults. But yeah, Heaven's Gate.
Well, it's interesting.
Waco.
Yeah, cults used not to be a bad thing. Back when they were during the polytheistic times, because cults.
A cult necessarily.
It was like a.
A cult necessarily can be good. It usually doesn't work out because a cult. Like, how's a cult defined? I mean, define cult for me.
Usually has a charismatic leader.
Is that the working definition? I thought too. Like you have to have there's ranks you grow in. There's harsh.
Yeah,
but though if you listen to like someone like Richard Dawkins, he claims all religions a cult. There's levels you climb,
right?
And in sort of a deeper membership, and there's sort of this cohesive environment amongst the members. There's sort of a pressure amongst the members to sort of
conform. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And cults are like all life consuming. I mean, while a lot of religions, like a lot of big religions,
they're life consuming.
Yeah, like
Scientology.
Yeah, in fact, that's why.
Though I mean, then again, I do agree with Richard Dawkins to an extent. Religion, when you get really into it.
Yeah, when you're hardcore.
Though I mean, I'd say for the most part, most churches you go to, a lot of people could attend casually. And
right.
They're not like, you don't need to be sucked in.
Well, especially like
they're open.
Yeah, like I think what's pointed out is
a mosque or a temple. You can go and not necessarily get vacuumed in.
Right. I think the thing is
Scientology is very vacuumed.
Yeah, because typically cults are smaller. They're more time intensive.
They're smaller. They're more time. There can be cults to all different levels. We usually think of them as like there's a belief.
Yeah.
Guiding it. And there's a leader, but some cults are just like
the cult of Apple, where everyone loves freaking Apple, and like, if you talk shit about Apple,
is feminism a cult?
Yeah, it can be.
You and the other YouTubers have said.
It
can be, definitely.
Yeah.
Is politics a cult to an extent? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Very much.
Especially when you have.
So most cults are just human.
Yeah, but religious cults tend to think of it as from a charismatic leader, someone who's like, I am,
Charismatic leaders kind of sounds like Jesus and Muhammad and Abraham. Kind of sounds like Abraham, Jesus.
Like, I sacrificed this little guy to Odin. and he can't move. He's being.
Well, have you seen The Wicker Man? I was
Oh, yeah.
watching a little bit of The Wicker Man. I really
Which
want to
one?
finish the whole movie. And
Which one, the original?
The original.
No, not the one with not the beat.
Well, like it's like this English cop who goes to this town where
Which
a
makes a lot
person
more
has
sense.
died,
Yeah.
and it's basically witches that live there. It's old pagans,
Yeah, of course.
old English pagans.
Which makes sense around England.
And there's like a sexy woman.
Oh yeah.
That's just the farthest I got in the movie, and then I had to like leave. It's at a friend's house.
Ooh. No, we should do. We should watch Reefer Madness one of these days.
Is that on YouTube for free?
Yeah, I found it on YouTube for free.
Nice.
Like it's the
Pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
But
Like,
it's a classic.
but that-
film. It's a classic.
oh my god,
drug
you know what we should do? We should watch.
drug scare.
You know,
film.
for one of our next one, we should look at propaganda stuff. A bunch of propaganda films.
And it's like everything, man.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking everything's propaganda. And then when people like it, they're like, that's not propaganda, that's the truth. Like Food Inc. or fucking Super Size Me. That's not propaganda, that's real. When you go to McDonald's, you just get really fat from just eating a hamburger and you drop dead in the bathroom. It happened to a friend of mine. Like, that is all propaganda. Okay, both political parties, beliefs.
It's like what's the difference?
Beliefs people have and shit. The GMO crowd has had like
Yeah.
50 films on how,
and
how
the
every
vax
farm
crowd.
is evil
And the vax
how
crowd.
like there's secret societies controlling the seeds and the food. I'm like, okay, it's a propaganda film. Fuck. They're taking little snippets of shit and mixing it and editing it together to make it look really fun.
Yeah.
More than it is. Okay?
I mean, like freaking what's his face? Like Michael Moore.
Yes,
The
he makes
Milkman.
propaganda films.
The Milkman.
Like capitalism is all fucking evil, but this
Roger and
but,
me.
but this very movie I'm making is I'm going to sell it to an audience and make fucking money.
Michael Moore looks like a fat lesbian.
The fuck?
When he shaves his beard.
Yeah, he kind of does. He shouldn't shave the beard.
Then he looks like
Or like, okay, the number one, like I remember, like I do like a good documentary.
Hey,
Okay,
hey, hey.
Bowling for Columbine
But-
was bad. I'll tell you
but-
why.
but what's the
Because
other-
they never got to the point of the goddamn propaganda. Like, what was the point?
yeah.
Like he was like, I don't like guns, but then like he went to like an area where there's gun control in Canada and there was a crime happening, and then he was going to dumpier neighborhoods in the States in Detroit, and then no crime was happening. And I was like, what's your point in the whole film? He kept talking about like video games were thrown in there. I think
I
it was
hate that.
a whole like 90s fear-mongering thing of video games, Marilyn Manson, goths and guns are just gonna murder everybody all together. It's like goths are just like
Goths with
jerking
guns.
off with guns.
Oh god, I'm gonna life pain, bad.
Yeah, dude, it was like Marilyn Manson had a part in the fucking movie.
Whoa.
And had like a bunch of politicians like, is society making the gun? Is
By the way-
society making the kids killers?
I would say one thing. I am sorry to all any lesbians of size. I do not mean to insult you and call you like Michael Moore.
No, yeah.
That's
I
me.
know a lot of beautiful lesbians, and I know a lot of cool people who are lesbians.
Yeah.
Michael Moore is Michael Moore.
That's me. to
It's not a
lesbians.
man or a woman. It's kind of like Pat, that old movie.
Yeah.
Is it a man or is it a woman? No, it's Pat, right? Is that how it goes? I
Yeah,
remember that old film.
Yeah. Well, Pat was really a skit on SNL.
Yeah, Michael Moore's one of those people who's like, I don't know if that's a dude or a chick. You met those people?
Yeah, like he seems to like. It's only when he has a beard he kind of A-listed a dude.
Yeah, that's kind of him.
You know what he is? He's just clay. He's you can reform him and
Didn't we see a propaganda film on porn? That one with that
yeah, like Porn Inc. or whatever we're watching.
yeah, and it was like kind of again like a lot of like only the negative which Mercedes Carrera sort of contested.
Yeah, she says
Like they've never made a positive porn documentary.
Well, here's the thing, and I've heard this is a lot of porn is that a lot of the new girls get like they don't know how to say no.
Sure. I can definitely
by that-
see, like, most big porn stars have always said, like, it's a job, it's not for everyone. Like, professional sports is the same way.
Well, yeah,
A lot of guys who get into it, they invest a lot of money, a lot of time, and they get injured, and they're nothing. They're washed out, they have no money. The top players, it's a very few brown people that make it there and actually do well. A lot of people you don't see in sports wash out, but they invested a lot of time. You know, it's the same thing probably in pornography.
Yeah, this kind of feels like the Joe Rogan experience because you're a bald dude who talks and we're talking,
and I have a sweatshirt on. Doesn't he always wear like sweatshirts?
Yeah.
It looks like he's freezing to death in his like little room there. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
And he lives close to me. I think Jody like.
You met Joe?
We met him. I remember seeing him a lot at a Barnes and Noble. I think it's in TR.
Oh, that's cool.
And I remember seeing him over at the Simi Valley Mall, and like Jody was like trying to bullshit his kids that like a train. Oh, those trains that go around the mall.
Yeah.
His kids were like, "Where's the train?" And then he was trying to lie to them, saying the train closed down for the day. And then Jody's like, "No, it's open. It's just on the other side of the mall." Then he told Jody's like, "Hey, you kind of threw me under the bus there, lady," in a joking way. But it was really awesome. It's like, Jody, that's Joe Rogan.
That's that like you meet him later on. Like, hey, Arlene, you
threw him under the bus, Jody.
And they were like, hey, aren't you that girl who
threw us under the bus? Because like him and his wife were at the mall trying to bullcrap their kids. Like, no, the train's closed. I want to go home or I want to go to Wetzel's Pretzels. I don't want to take my kid.
I don't get
the
why,
fucking damn train.
You don't get why parents just don't tell them, hey, listen, I'm tired. I just don't want to.
Because they'll start bitching and crying, and he didn't want that. He's like, I want to eat Wetzel's Pretzels. I don't want to sit on the fucking train that takes forever to go around the fucking mall. You know? I'm like, well, dude, you had kids. This is your punishment, man.
This is your punishment, man.
You had kids, dude. You did.
You fucked up.
You fucked up. She's only 17.
Oh, God, that's a creepy song.
By Warrant? I think was I listening to Warrant or Extreme?
Yeah.
She's only. I have to say, I was listening to some soundtracks of old 80s horror films. Ramones, Pet Sematary, awesome.
Yeah.
You listen? Don't get buried in the Pet Cemetery.
Anyway.
Ramones and Dokken.
We'll have. Anyway, we gotta wrap up.
We gotta wrap it up. He's got to go to a community gangbang.
It's a meeting.
They get naked. They sacrifice pigeons. It's really nasty and disgusting.
Well, I can't help it.
And once you go, you don't come back alive.
How are we gonna get the rain and keep away the high-speed rail?
What the fuck? The high-speed rail? Is it here?
They're trying to build it, but all the neighbors like no.
Connect a rail to connect.
Yeah, but it'd be through like across the dam. Not across the dam, but across the basin.
I would just like fuck all the from here. Who gets from here to?
I don't know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'm Dan.
I smell a bunch of dog shit.
Oh yeah, of course. We got dogs back here. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We're gonna try to come to you every other Thursday.
We will.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
Stay safe. Protect your assholes.
And this dog does not want to leave me alone.
Take your vitamins. And I love you.
Chris does love you.